Hey folks, on this training video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some secrets to estimating repairs quickly, easily, and accurately. Whether or not you can estimate repairs quickly, easily, and accurately will absolutely determine your success in this rehab business and either make you do deals which you're not knowing it. Knowing it can mean the difference between doing deals you wish you hadn't done or knowing what deals to walk away from. Very, very important stuff. And then at the link below, and I'll talk more about this later, you can actually register for my upcoming training where I'm going to dive deep into how to estimate repairs line by line and how to determine an after repaired value on a deal. And then third, crunching the numbers, really making those two numbers together, the ARV, the repair figure, knowing what other costs are involved and how can you arrive at an accurate or good purchase price will still enable you to be competitive in the marketplace as well as have enough profit in the deal. So how to accurately estimate repairs. First of all, there's some big items you want to write down, take notes on this. So big items such as HVAC, right? Your heating and air conditioning system. If you've got heating and air conditioning ductwork in the house already, you can simply replace the unit, the inside and outside unit. That's going to cost you between $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the size unit. If you've got to run ductwork throughout, for a typical 1,600 square foot house, it's going to run you about $12,000. And all of these prices are materials and labor, okay? Like something you're paying to a general contractor. Next, obviously, is a roof, right? So for a typical 1,600 square foot house, now this is a shingled roof, not a flat roof down the city, right? So for shingled roofs in a ranch or a cave or something like that, it's going to run you around $7,000 to remove and install shingles on a house. For a row house in the city, that's going to run you about $3,000, maybe $3,500 or so to do a new torch down roof. Okay, just did that on a house recently, and of course with the bigger roof, you want to increase the cost accordingly. Next, I have some other big items that you're going to come across. You get the heating, air, you get the roof, you get siding, right? Windows, they're going to run you about $350 a pop. And of course the landscaping. Now the landscaping, you don't want to do too much of it. You want to make sure your house looks clean and crisp from when you drive up to the house, right? Curb appeal is very important, but don't go overboard in landscaping. Typically we're spending $2,500 per house on the landscaping, sometimes $3,000, right? So those are a sample of the bigger items, and again, on the upcoming training, where you can register for free down below, I'm going to go over just a comprehensive list of those repairs and things we look for in houses we do. Some other secret items, quote unquote secret items you might come across one example is the electrical, right? So from I think it was the mid-19 teens to around the mid-1930s, so about a 20-year span, right? They use what's called knob and tube wiring. Knob and tube wiring. Google it, and you can go and Google images, and you can see what it looks like. Right? It's a cloth type fabric or a wire with circular, not oval, circular, and it got ceramic discs. Just Google knob and tube wiring, and you'll see images to what it looks like. So, like I said, they use it from the mid-19 teens to the mid-1930s. And so our rule of thumb, our rule internally when we're analyzing a deal is I don't care what is in the property. I don't care if it's been renovated or not. If it was built prior to 1945 is what our cutoff date is, just to allow for any oopsies. If it was built before 1945, then we budget to rewire. You got in the property, you got to run new wiring. It's around a 1,700 square foot house. It's going to run you around, give or take, around $4,000. That does not count the cost of a new electrical panel. Okay, but if you've got to cut channels on and out of the walls, stuff like that, it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to run you around $7,000 to rewire around a 1,700 square foot house, right? And if it involves, might have thrown in some drywall costs as well for the wall repair. Compensate for that. So rewire is really important, and in fact, and I'll cover this on Thursday's training, on the upcoming training, but a lot of times what guys do in this business, or ladies do in this business, is they look at in the basement at the breaker box, right? And they see the new breaker box, and they see the more modern, what's called Romax wiring coming out of the box and running in the ceiling of the basement, and they think, oh great, it's been rewired. I don't need to account for that, right? But the reality is, for some reason or another, what a lot of folks do is they cut off all the knob and tube wiring in the basement ceiling right before it goes to the walls to the first floor, right? and then they do a junction box, convert it over to do like a wire net into Romex wiring, and so you see Romex wiring in the basement. But what's really easy to miss is the junction boxes throughout the basement where the knob and tube wiring goes up into the second floor. Of course, you can also take apart an outlet or a light switch on the second and third floor, and first, second, and third floor to really make sure that it's not there. But anyway, safest way is to make sure that you allow for that item if it's built before 1945. Another thing that a lot of times you'll go look at properties where the hardwood floors are in great shape, but the color is like it screams like 1998, right? It's that bright, almost orangey hardwood looking color, and that is so out of style, right? So what we do is we budget on refinishing all of the hardwood floors. And on the upcoming training, I'm actually going to share with you a really cool strategy on how to easily deal with pet stains, like cat urine stains, on hardwood floors. It does not involve replacing floors. You're going to absolutely love that. Okay, we've got a secret color combination I like to use. You'll see plenty of examples of that on that training. All right, next, and this is really important, knowing what to do and how much to do, right? This has to do with learning your market, knowing your market. And on Thursday's training, or on the upcoming training, I forget what day it is, on the upcoming training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you really what you're going to want to do, okay? I'm going to show you how to, regardless of the marketplace. I know I can take my skills that I'm going to share with you on the training, I can take those skills, and what I can do is I can literally do research within 10 minutes on basically any market, know exactly how to finish the house, what's worth doing, what's not, where am I going to get my return on investment back, what am I not going to do it, right? We have like 3 different kitchens we do, but not every single house we do the same things in, right? Because a higher-end house, you're going to get your money out of the frameless glass, the master bathroom, right? But on a $375,000 house, I'm not going to get that extra $3,000 back out of the resale price, right? So a couple of different things like that, and we're going to go through on that training different rooms and different houses, and why that's so important. So knowing what to do and how much to do is so important. Here's why. Because so many people, and this happens to me all the time, I go to pull comps on a house right before we sell it. I pull comps before we buy it, or my assistant does actually, and then we pull comps right before we sell it to see if the market's improved, which right now the market is definitely improving every single time. And what we do is I look at the active listings as well as the ones that have sold recently, and then I think, well, where does mine fit into there, right? And we usually price ours right at the top of the market, and then we wind up selling even higher. So anyway, the point is this. Every time I go to sell a property, almost without exception, there is another decent looking and sometimes even a newly renovated house sitting on the market for sale. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think the house will sell for this, because look like it's sold comps, but there's these 1 or 2 active comps that are very similar, same block even, same neighborhood, same size, same bedrooms, bathrooms, etc., right? And so why are those not selling? It makes me nervous, right? Well, what I've discovered is there are certain things that buyers love to see. And so these investors sometimes who are going to flip these houses, they didn't do enough stuff, or they didn't do the right stuff when they renovated their house. A recent example is in Ambler. There was a property in Highland Avenue in Ambler. It's a suburb of Philadelphia. This was a 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom, I think it was, 2.5 bathroom house, had off-street parking, even had a garage, right? A little bit bigger than this property I did, just 1 block down the street, right? Both of them were in Ambler, both of them in the same school districts. 1 block down the street, I did a property, it sold for $355,000, by the way, with a $17,000 seller's assist, right? So that's like a net of like $333,000. Now, 1 block down the street, my property was basically the same size, within a few hundred square feet. I added a master bathroom, nice master bathroom, right? And I had no off-street parking, no garage. Mine sold for $402,000. It closed last Friday, right? Why? Why? Because I know what's important to buyers, what buyers need to see. Knowing how much to do and what to do based on the price point, based on that exact little micro market where that house is located, can make you or break you in this business. It allows you to be competitive when you're analyzing deals and buying properties and offering certain purchase prices, and it also keeps you from over-improving the house. It drives me nuts when I see other investors. I'll say, well, why are you listing your property so high? Well, I put X number of dollars into the house. I had to list that price or I'd lose money. Well, I got news for you. The market couldn't care less about you, your pocketbook, or how much money you put in the house. All it cares about is how's that house compare to the other properties, right? And if you go spending an extra $50,000 on upgrades that price point of house is not willing to pay for, then you've done nothing but waste your money and potentially lose tens of thousands of dollars. So I'm going to show you how to avoid all this stuff. So make sure you click the link below for the upcoming training where I'm going to go dive deep into how to estimate repairs, knowing your market, determine the accurate repair value, and crunching the numbers so you know really what to put together for a how to crunch the numbers so you can learn really what's a good purchase price, right? People ask, what's your average profit? Well, it's $31,000, give or take. But not every deal is $31,000. I think this year is closer to 40. But the point is this, some deals are $90,000, some are $20,000. How do I know which to do? How do we determine how much profit I'm willing to make? Well, it's a function of a few different things, and I will reveal that on the upcoming training. So click the link below and register for the upcoming training, and I'll see you there. Thanks much.